Now, I request Chitralee sister to unmute her mic and share your experiences with all of us. Chitralee sister, please unmute your mic.
Om Shri Sai Ram. Am I audible?
Yes, sister. Yes, sister.
My humble salutations and surrender at the lotus feet of our beloved Bhagwan, Sri Sathya Sai Baba, and a loving Sai Ram to all of you. I feel extremely privileged to have been invited today to share my experience with Bhagwan in my life's long journey through all ups and downs. I would share my experience with Bhagwan in 3 parts: pre-Anantapur, Anantapur, and post-Anantapur. Our family came into the fold of Bhagwan Baba around the year 1970, when, as the organizing secretary of a spiritual convention in Shillong, my father, late Sri Prabhat Narayan Goswami, was seeing off the guests and participants who had come in buses from far-flung areas to attend the conference. It was, as usual, a raining day in Shillong, and a bus full of participants got stuck in the red, stubborn mud in the conference premises. The wheels wouldn't move despite pushing and trying all tricks by all the organizers. That is when a Sai devotee lady gave some ash to my father and asked him to apply it on the wheels, which were stuck badly in the mud. Soon as my father so applied the ash, to everyone's dismay, the wheels started easily moving and the bus smoothly made its way to its destination. Overwhelmed by the miracle, my father learned that day that those were vibhutis created by Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba of Puttaparthi of Andhra Pradesh. My father instantaneously brought his entire family to Bhagwan's fold and started daily bhajans in our residence. We were 6 sisters and no brother. We were young kids, and since often we were sad on Raksha Bandhan day while other friends had brothers to tie Rakhi, our mom told us that Baba is your brother. We started tying him Rakhi in his photo and made him a part of our family. I was about 8 years and my sisters were also very, very young. As a brother, we started sharing our sweets, chocolates with Baba, which my mother offered as prasad every day in the morning. As a Chitta Chora Nandalala, Baba started playing with all us kids. He would accept and eat almost every day 1 or 2 chocolates or 1 sweet or a half a fruit or a full fruit, whatever we offered. Eclairs, the chocolate, were newly introduced in the market, and once we offered him about 30 chocolates, 30 eclairs in fact. But he did not eat even 1 that day. We kids were really sad that Baba was angry with us. We too did not eat any of the chocolates. We decided to offer them again to him next day. Next day, when we opened the lid of the prasad vessel, we could see and guess that all eclairs were intact and Baba did not eat any. Still, with a tiny ray of hope, with sad faces, we started counting if all 30 chocolates were there. We had hoped that at least 1 would be less, which Baba would have accepted. But to our surprise, what we found was the eclairs looked the same, nicely caged in its wrappers, but the eclairs inside were all missing in each and every wrapper. Not a single one was left. Baba had eaten all the eclairs. playing April Fool with all of us kids, keeping the wrappers nicely closed and fluffy as if all were intact. These miracles started in our house as an everyday affair. And the games went on with Baba. We lived in a joint family, and kids' bedroom had an altar atop very high wall, so that the little children cannot reach and do mischief with the altar. One day, a big size sweet was offered in the altar, and suddenly, while we were all resting in the afternoon chit chatting, elders and kids all together in the room, suddenly a piece of that sweet came atop the vessel lid, making a sound, guiding us all to look at the altar. Within a blink of an eye, the piece vanished and went into the vessel. This happened in presence of the very person who had brought that special sweet from Kolkata, who was a non-Sai devotee. He was in tears that Baba accepted what he had brought. Then there would be Vibhuti manifestation every day in our house, in photos of Baba and other deities on a daily basis. And the Vibhuti would be in multiple bright colors in addition to white, what we see. One day our non-Sai devotee uncle scolded us and insulted us by rubbing off and wiping off the manifested white Vibhuti, saying that we girls have been playing pranks by putting the Vibhutis ourselves there in front of Baba. Baba, our divine brother till then, kept our honor, and next day morning, he manifested Vibhuti inside the photo frames, which are still intact in my sister's place in Guwahati. In 1981, April, I came to Puttaparthi with my father to study in Anantapur College. But due to Assam students' agitation going on at that time, the 10th board exam results were not announced in time for us, for all the students in Assam. While admissions were going on in Anantapur, I could not be granted admission in Anantapur College in intermediate because my results were not there. I was in fact denied admission as sessions had already started. This was a testing time of my life. I was living with my father in Prashanti Nilayam, praying and awaiting admission. This waiting period was a lifetime experience for me, and I would ever cherish this time in my life. All colleges were going on in full swings in their campuses. Only some devotees were in Prashanti Nilayam. One afternoon, after lunchtime, Swami suddenly decided to address the devotees. Those days, Kulwant Hall was not there. The boundary wall was very close to the mandir. Swami stood in the veranda. That is where the samadhi is there now. At that spot he stood and he started addressing. I was returning from lunch from the canteen and stopped by, seeing mics were being fitted, even though Swami was not there at that time. I stood leaning by the wall from outside because I was not a student. I wouldn't be allowed inside that way. I was leaning by the wall from outside where no one else was there, but facing Swami almost straight while he was addressing. Swami spoke for about 1.5 hours. Many devotees were taking naps after lunch. They did not know Swami would address. Next day, Swami, again without prior notice, started addressing after lunchtime, and again few devotees only had come. Those privileged devotees slowly started increasing, even though there were no students in Prashanti at that time. This continued for about a month, always unannounced, and everyday devotees increased. Going from a vernacular medium, that is Assamese medium, not a sentence I could understand what Swami had spoken or the interpreter had spoken. Swami spoke in Telugu. It was beyond me. Yet some invisible string drew me towards this exclusive discourse time with Swami more and more with each day, as if he was educating me, explaining to me lovingly, preparing me for the future. Slowly, I started understanding 50% of the philosophy on my own and started drowning in Swami's bhakti. I do not know if I understood what I understood was right, but it started making a lot of sense to me. By then, from a brother, he had become my Guru and Bhagwan. I was no longer that 8-year-old. I was 15. He never looked at me, but every day I found that designated little cozy corner place facing him kept empty for me, where I leaned against the wall and stood throughout his discourse, because if I sat, I would not be able to see him. Through this invisible pull of prema, my longing to remain close to Swami and study in Anantapur College grew stronger and stronger. And slowly, his discourses taught me how not to fear God, but only to love God. Having known to love God, it was an ecstatic time for me where I could communicate and trust Bhagwan completely. This was my biggest gift. Love God, not fear. Not fear Him. Ever since then, my fear in life vanished forever. And confidence on my invisible guide strengthened, which helped me sail through all ups and downs of life till date. This is the time, through his discourses, he told me to surrender completely to him. He also said, after surrendering, if you keep worrying, that's not surrender. During those discourses, he repeated this. I surrendered and kept praying to him silently to give me admission in Anantapur College, even without my board result, as I knew I would have certainly passed in 10th board exam had the results been out. After attending these exclusive discourses for a month, I went to Anantapur College and kept insisting and requesting the principal, Dr. J. Hemlata Madam, on a daily basis to give me admission. Every day in the morning, I would go stand in front of her door, the principal's room. At times, I wouldn't get a chance to even see her or meet her. But I went daily. I went for about a month. I lived in Anantapur town. After about 3 refusals, when I actually could meet her, seeing my consistency to be nearer to Swami, she agreed one day to give me provisional admission, subject to confirmation on passing my 10th board when results come out in Assam. This was unheard of. Without personal intervention of Swami, such admissions never happened in Swami's institutions. And here no message had come from Swami directly to Hemlata Madam. But who knew Swami's plans? The showers of blessings had just begun. It was already mid-October in 1981 when I got admission. Classes had already begun. In about less than a month from that, around in the second week of November 1981, Principal Dr. J. Hemlata Madam one morning quietly left for Puttaparthi to seek Swami's confirmation whether he really means what he told her in her dreams the previous night. Swami confirmed her that yes, indeed, he wanted Chitralee Goswami and Sudha Bal Subramaniam to sing the second part of his life named Sai Sudha after the first part was sung by Brindaban boys, and that he wanted Dr. Hemlata Madam to pen down the lyrics of Sai Sudha. Madam narrated that Swami said that the performance had to be for about 2 hours and has to be presented in the next week on the convocation day on 22nd November 1981 in Purnachandra Auditorium. Swami also said that one day before he will listen to the renditions first before approving public performance in front of more than 7 to 8 lakh audience of birthday time. There were only 6 days left, and the entire lyrics, as and when written, had to be composed musically. I was just 15, had come out of Assam for the first time, did not know any other language other than Assamese, hadn't even learned the minimum English for communication in the hostel. And Swami gives me this huge responsibility to compose music for Telugu songs and sing in Telugu too, that too for 2 long hours. Seemed an impossible task. Today, as a matured music director and composer, I know how impossible a proposition it was. But our Pran Sakha Sai was to do it through us, his instruments. Towards this, he prepared me to give up fear, to love God, to surrender fully, and then not to keep worrying about after surrendering. Those trainings came handy. His way of invisible divine training techniques was unique and complete in all respect. To my utter dismay, even till date, all I had was full enthusiasm, constant hard work, with not an iota of fear to accomplish this Herculean task at the time. This developed the teamwork and leadership qualities also in me. Help ever, hurt never, till date is my guiding light in my professional life. Now comes the real test. Singing in front of Swami under his direct musical scrutiny, the rehearsal day or the test day. Unthinkable. We gathered in the interview room behind Purnachandra Auditorium, a narrow room. Swami was seated facing the Ganesh gate side, and I was right in front of his feet, facing him in 5 mm distance only from his feet, as space was very less. Sudha sister next to me on my right, followed by Principal Madam on Sudha sister's right. In the room, there were primary school warden and another teacher from primary school. I do not remember now. Kasturi Garu was there with another gentleman. Who he was, I do not remember now. In absolute silence and discipline, we began singing, and Swami kept listening to us. Not at all like what we see Swami enjoying bhajan. When we began to sing and Swami kept listening to us, he did not bounce his head. He does not swing his hands. He did not put talam like he does for a bhajan when he enjoys. He witnessed us as a Sangeet Mahaguru. As a Sangeet Guru today, I know how it feels when your students or disciples or even your child performing on the stage, what you go through as a Guru. Swami continued to listen keenly, perhaps especially watching Telugu pronunciations of mine of a 1-month-old Assam girl, ATPN, who he had risked by handpicking at that time. But myself, I had no fear. I only had loving reverence for my master as he taught me silently during afternoon discourses. Hemlata Madam's heart was in her mouth. To our absolute fortune, and Swami's immense grace. Even though we had learned all of the long episode practically in 3 days after composing, we did not make a single mistake, and Swami did not have to stop us even once in between. When we finished, he gave us Pad Namaskar, and then the pearls and gems of his love, pride, and praise came out instantaneously to completely drown me grounded for rest of my life as a performing artist, having lot of fan following after each show that I have today. Another boon in my life. Soon as we finished, Swami stood up and without taking pause of even a moment, said in full enthusiasm in Telugu to the bystanders, the Kasturi Garu and others. Have you seen how well an Assam girl has sung Telugu? Please learn from her. You must also do so. I was numb, spellbound, did not know how to react. Was it even true? Is my loving guru and guide praising me? That too with so much of benevolence and grace that I may not have even deserved? Yes, indeed it was. Those were the moments of my life, of all of our lives who were there, present there, and perhaps those were the moments in the lives of all the ATP students and the ATP teachers that day. It was my life's worth, coming from Ma Saraswati herself, from Sai Ma. It was the biggest blessing I could ever ask for. It was the biggest compliment and approval I could ever seek in life. I became so grounded that ever since then, no praise, no fan following can ever lift my feet from the ground. For all seem nothing in front of the praise by the divinity himself, who in fact himself caused such lyrics, such music, and such rendition to be created. Swami thereby gave me a bigger responsibility, I felt immediately. He gave me a mission in life to spread happiness through my music, be it by my performance or by my imparting the musical knowledge to the students. That afternoon, Swami not only approved my singing style, but also my music, which I composed, and of course, Principal Madam's lyrics she penned down so beautifully. Little did I know then what a many lifetimes opportunity it was, which Swami so generously bestowed upon me. He not only bestowed this opportunity and blessings upon me, but upon Sudha sister, all instrumentalist sisters, Principal Madam, and them Anantapur campus itself. I do not know how I composed music for so many songs so easily in such short time. Learned myself to sing Telugu. Is Sai Sudha not Swami's own creation? I often feel it was created by Swami himself. Next evening was the historic day when Anantapur campus created history by rendering Sai Sudha, Swami's second part of life history, in Telugu language flawlessly in divine grace in front of 7 to 8 lakhs of devotees. Swami taught us to rehearse and prepare well before going out to public, before going out to face the eventualities of life. That is why he himself took the test previous day. He would not like ill-prepared presentations, be it exams, be it on stage, or be it in live. Another training I received that day. This was my first international public performance, which Swami gave me as a gift. He took care to prepare me as a performing artist, lyricist, and composer, and I owe it all to our beloved Bhagwan today. My Sufi lyrics today only reflects what Swami taught all of us. When I came out with the first Sai Bhajan album, Manasa Bhajare, I wanted it to be blessed by Swami before formal release. By then, rules in Puttaparthi and Vrindavan had changed. At this juncture, I would want to show all the Sai devotees the diary from which I had sung in front of Swami, which is still with me, and I have been successful with Swami's grace to maintain it. This is that red diary which I placed at his feet before singing. These are the manuscripts of the lyrics which we sang in front of Swami at that time. As you can see, these are written in Assamese language, but these are Telugu. This is how I sang that day. I was requested by some of the sisters to sing one or two bhajans in between if I could. So why not a verse from Sai Sudha at this moment? Kindly beg your pardon as my voice is not doing well. सर्वदेवता स्वरूपुडी सत्य साई सर्वदेवता स्वरूपुडी सत्य साई सत्यरूपमुनेवरु गुर्तिंपगलरु सत्यरूपमुनेवरु गुर्तिंपगलरु सर्वदेवता स्वरूपुरी सत्य साई. This is one verse. I'll give you another verse. ఏమని పొగడుదు ఇట్టి నీ గుణము ఈ మహిమకు ప్రతి ఇతరులు కలరా ఏమని పొగడుదు వేదోక్తం భోగ జ్ఞానయజ్ఞమును విప్రుల చేవలయించితివి యజ్ఞ పురుషుడై యజ్ఞ భోక్తవై యజ్ఞ పురుషుడై యజ్ఞ భోక్తవై లోక కళ్యాణము కూర్చితివి ఏమని పొగడుతో ఇట్టి నీ గుణము ఈ మహిమకు ప్రతి ఇతరులో కలరా ఏమని పొగడుతో. I must say at this juncture that while we were preparing for this Sai Sudha, entire student fraternity, the teachers who were there at the time, were all the time busy taking care of us, looking after us, helping us in multiple ways, arranging instruments, seeing to our comfort. And I am till date indebted to all of them that they could make us sing and make it possible for all of us. I was talking about my first Sai Bhajan album, Manasa Bhajare. And by that time, the rules in Vrindavan and Puttaparthi had changed. Swami was in Vrindavan. I carried the first copy of the CD to be blessed by him before the formal music launch. Suddenly, a volunteer came and told me that I cannot carry the CD to the darshan because only a tiny purse with little money is allowed, nothing else, nothing bigger than that. I was extremely disheartened. I had gone all the way from Guwahati, and without the CD, I went and sat in the darshan, prayed in my mind to quietly to Swami to bless the album and let me know whether he liked the music, liked the rendition, and liked the album or not. The music launch function date was fixed after a month, and I had no sign of Swami's blessings till then. I was upset but decided to go ahead with the album launch and my bhajan performance in public show next day. It was to be held in a very large Shirdi temple, well-known Shirdi temple. In the afternoon, a packet of vibhuti arrives from nowhere, from a friend who writes in a small chit that I am directed to hand over this special vibhuti to you given by Swami. I was shocked. I was not in touch with this friend for years and years. And this vibhuti arrives that day. And I knew Swami blessed my album. And next day, the launch happened. I would have to narrate so many things which Swami subtly taught me or gave me. I'm not one of those who kept getting interviews from Swami, or my family did not keep getting interviews. But I felt so very connected with Swami always. Every time we went to Puttaparthi for the Shivratri, I got opportunity to sing so many bhajans. Entire night we would sit, we would apply the mustard oil in our hands and do our talis and sing. The bhajan which Swami liked when I sang, I would like to sing 2 lines of it. Panduranga, Panduranga, Vithala Pahe, Panduranga, Panduranga, Vithala Pahe, Dinanatha, Karunanatha, Dinanatha, Karunanatha, Sainath Hare, Pandarivasa Panduranga, Pandarivasa Panduranga, Vithala Pahe. This was one of his favorite. We had another lifetime opportunity during our stay in Anantapur when Swami had visited us in the campus. We had made the jhula with our own hands. He sat in the jhula. So many cultural programs we had arranged. Principal Madam and others told me, okay, we will be depicting the Ugadi festival. Our some of the sisters, they would take the kalash in the head, and some of the sisters would dance, some of the sisters would sing. So one line that I sang and Swami sat in the jhula and heard was, sorry, I'm very sorry. Medaliki ninnu chusi kudelani asatoda, medaliki ninnu chusi kudelani asatoda, bagujeri ఉస్సురందూరా వెంకటేశ యారనంతే నిందాకనురా, వెంకటేశ యారనంతే నిందాకనురా, నిందు కోపిన మాగిపై వందు పోయేలా కుయగా నిందిన నీవేను గంటాను, వెంకటేశ అందకు నిన్ను రమ్మంటిరా, అందకు నిన్ను రమ్మంటిరా, అందకు నిన్ను రమ్మంటిరా, మెడలిక్కే నిన్ను చూసి. I'm not able to do justice today. Once I was traveling to Ooty and Kodaikanal on a holiday trip, and I decided to visit Swami's mandir in Ooty. Somehow I could not manage the time. I did not know the timings. And I arrived at the temple when it was closed. I was sad that I cannot have darshan, and that evening was the only evening we were staying in Ooty. So how to have darshan? We were returning, I and my husband. We were returning. We were closing the gate. Just did pranam at the staircase and returning. Suddenly, a gentleman came from outside the road. He said, "Do you want darshan?" I said, "Yes, but it is closed." "Wait, I will arrange to open it." He went and he brought the keys from somewhere. He opened the door. Then he said, "Do you want to go to Swami's room?" I said, "Yes." And he just led us to Swami's room. We had all the time for ourselves. He gave us good 45 minutes to 1 hour time. I sat there, sang bhajan, meditated, did pranam to Swami's bed and paduka. And I do not know who the gentleman was. And we satisfied completely. We returned. Next day, we were traveling down from Kodaikanal, and from the hill we were traveling down, it was already dusk. All of a sudden, the road was extremely narrow, and it was pitch dark. Nothing could be seen. We were in a rented vehicle. And the car driver, after some time, could not see a thing. It was such a thick fog. Suddenly, I do not know. I forgot the Swami's teachings, all that discourses of my time, admission time, and I started becoming fearful that we will not live today. The vehicle will topple at any time because we can't see even an inch. We can't stop the vehicle because there would be some vehicle coming from other side. there could be wild animal crossing. So we couldn't even stop the vehicle. We had to move on. And it was so bad that I just started saying, Om Shri Sai Ram, Om Shri Sai Ram, Om Shri Sai Ram, Swami, please save, Swami, please save, Swami, please save. Suddenly, when we were absolutely fearful for life, Vibhuti smell started filling the entire car. Strong Vibhuti smell, extremely strong Vibhuti smell. I otherwise get smells very quickly. So I thought it is only me who is getting. So I didn't say anything. I quietly kept chanting Swami's name. Suddenly my husband said, such wonderful smell is coming. Have you put any agarbatti? So the driver said, no. I asked him, how does it smell? He said, something like Vibhuti. That must be an agarbatti. He said, no, I have no agarbatti in the car. Then the smell became stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And the Vibhuti was all around us. Vibhuti smell was all around us. I immediately knew Swami, you're with me. You are with us and Swami is with us. The fear vanished to an extent of 80%, but 20% was still there because the road was completely not visible. Lo and behold, the moment we started, we crossed that, it was about 45 minutes to 50 minutes. We crossed that area. We started moving down and towards the city area. Suddenly the Vibhuti smell vanished. Automatically it went away and we came to the safe zone. How many things can I narrate to you? How Pran Sakha Sai has been with me. I'm sure with all of us, with all of you. So many times, in so many manners, in so many ways, Swami has told what he taught us at that time. I do remember we tend to forget many times, many things, but his way of reminding us. When I was carrying my first child, something told me from day one that something's not going to be correct, something's not going to be good. From the 5th month of my carrying, I only started praying to Swami, saying, Swami, I will not decide. It is you who will decide. I will not question you. But all I ask you is give me the courage that I need to face what you are wanting to give me. It happened. So happened. I kept getting all wrong indications. And finally, I lost my daughter, lost my child just in the first month. But lo and behold, what I asked, he had given me. The courage to face. I didn't go haywire. I decided to go and start my studies again because I got married before my BCom results, quite young. I immediately started studying and did whatever I did with Swami's grace so far. This way, there are many things one can narrate. When Swami came to our campus, again I got a wonderful opportunity, again sitting at his feet, just a feet away only. And we rendered about 1 hour program with our sisters playing veena. I was with harmonium. There were tabla, talam, everything. And Swami enjoyed all the songs. One of our sisters at that time had sung one beautiful song. I will give 2 lines. Swami enjoyed that song, bhajan song a lot. And Govinda, 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 Ananda, Paramananda, Govinda, गोकुलवृन्दा गोविन्दाश्रित गोकुलवृन्दा पावन जय जय परमानन्दा पावन जय जय परमानन्दा आनन्दा जगदभिरामा सहस्रनामा सुगुणधामा संस्तुतनामा जगदभिरामा सहस्रनामा सुगुणधामा संस्तुतनामा जगदभिरामा सहस्रनाम सुगुणधाम संस्तुतनामा गगन श्यामा घनरिपुभीमा अगणित रघुवं शाम्भवी शोभा गगन श्यामा घनरिपुभीमा अगणित रघुवं शाम्भवी शोभा गोविन्दाश्रित गोकुलवृन्दा पावन जय जय परमानन्दा आनन्दा गोविन्दा 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 श्री गोविन्दा श्री गोविन्दा श्री गोविन्दा. Swami enjoyed a lot this bhajan. Then came the sports day, and all our girls presented different sports in front of Swami. I was blessed to teach the lazim choreography I had done, and taught all the sisters the lazim steps and all that. I was in the music band with many other sisters, the girls band. That is the first time the girls band was introduced. Before that, there was no girls band. We had clarinets, we had flute, we had drums, all the side drums and everything. And we presented that. Skates we presented in front of Swami. There were many sisters who took part of it. Then the awards were given away to the winning girls who won the competitions, who were the best sports persons. There are many sisters whose names, if I start taking one, the other one would get dropped. So in the interest of my memory's limitation, I am not taking anybody's name. And a wonderful time that every week that we went to Parthi, I saved only that much money I used to have in my account, enough to go to Puttaparthi. Did not ask for a single extra penny from my father, because I knew with how much difficulty he had arranged. But only that money we used to always keep, so that we can pay for the bus and go to Puttaparthi and have Swami's darshan. There were other times where on the stage again we performed, and there was a wonderful program. I forget the name. It was in the Hillview Stadium, and in the Hillview Stadium, the program was some sports day only. I guess I'm forgetting, and there was a cultural program also. So everybody was taking part and all that. In my mind, I thought, oh, there is no singing here, only sports and dance. What to do? I will not be able to take part. But in any case, I will do. I was okay, but I was longing. Suddenly, one of our teachers, she came and she said, Chitralee, you and the other sister, you both will dance for 3 minutes in the beginning, and we had put up a play called Ishvara Sarvabhutanam, and in the play in the beginning, you will make this Bharatanatyam dance steps, and you will come with the banner, and which will write Ishvara Sarvabhutanam, and you will come on the stage, and at the end also again you will come. For first will be about 2 minutes, and last will be about 1 minute. So I was thrilled again how Swami fulfilled the desires, and I learned that Bharatanatyam step, and we danced very nicely. We did that whole play, and the other time that Swami was sitting in the bhajan hall and talking to all of us, talking to Jema madam, and partaking food. We were all there. Yes, another experience I must say. NSS program was first introduced that year, and it was National Service Scheme. And I was also selected as one of the NSS volunteers. We went to the drought-prone village. We had adopted a village and went and started making roads and those smokeless chulas, and many sisters, we all of us singing bhajans constantly. And then there I had one experience that we always think at a very superficial level. We do not think deeply anything. To me, the deep thinking, seed of deep thinking perhaps started there. I was given the responsibility of teaching hygiene to the villagers. When we went, there were children who were playing by the side of the well, and their mothers were here and there doing some their household chores outside, and the children were all in mud and all dust and all that, little 4 years, 3 years, 2 years and all that. And so I went near the mothers and I said, can I talk to you all? So they said, okay. By the time we were learning little Telugu, we had already started learning and we could converse. And I said, why don't you give them some bathing? Shall I bathe them? She said, Amma, where's the water? I said, from the well. Look at the well, it's all dry. I said, still, they will all become unwell. Then she said, I go 6 kilometers to fetch 1 pitcher of water only for drinking and cooking. We have no water to clean ourselves and wash ourselves. That is the day I understood what we see is not always what it is. We should think beyond. And soon after that, teachers were with us. They were all there. So we all started a muhim, what I would say, program, that if one was using 1 bucket of water, we would use half a bucket of water and we save half a bucket for the villages. And all of us started saving, all sisters, and the tanker would come and we would pour half a bucket of water there from our campus, and that water would go to the nearby villages. After that, the Sathya Sai water project came. After that, that was a year where we did not see a single drop of rain. And that year, Anantapur College became the top ranking college in NSS and got award for that. So many ways Swami taught us in life to be prepared. We used to do grapes gardening that is very vivid in my mind. And once Swami, also how he praised, but once he had stopped me from one bhajan. That bhajan I'll never forget. In the old mandir, where he used to sit during bhajan, it was some kind of akhanda bhajan or whatever it is. And Swami had come at that time, he was sitting. I was singing other bhajans also, but suddenly I don't know why I started singing that bhajan. The moment I sang the first line, he said, stop. I said, okay. And then next, immediately Usha Aunty was there. Usha Aunty started another bhajan. And after that, Swami asked me to sing. So I understood he didn't want that bhajan. Then I sang other bhajan that we used to sing. दिन दुखियों से प्रेम करो मेरा साई प्रसन्न होगा साई मेरा मैं तेरा ये प्रेम के बहती धारा ये प्रेम की बहती धारा ये प्रेम की बहती धारा मेरा साई प्रसन्न होगा. So these were some of the bhajans that we sang. I had another extremely good fortune in my intermediate. When we had gone during Swami's Janamdin birthday, there is to be Daridra Narayan Seva, and it was taking place in one of the open fields. I suppose that is the Hillview Stadium now. But at that time, there was no stadium. It used to be open, where many of the videos you see, there are Narayans sitting around, and we were all in with enthusiasm. We were holding the bucket and all that. And suddenly Swami comes walking towards me, and he starts serving, taking from my bucket that pongal. And I was going on with him, and he was serving from that. I was going on with him, he was serving from that. He served to about 10 to 15 Narayan from my bucket. And I did not know what it would mean, or it is simply showers of blessings, or how I should be taking it even today. Perhaps ever since then, I thought no matter how many people come and eat, there should not be scarcity of food in the family, in the house. We should give food to everybody. So perhaps those seeds were there. And as a sister who introduced me said, ever since I came from Anantapur, I started practicing certain disciplines which I learned, which are today propagated in the circular economy or ESG field. They say, okay, don't open the tap so much. Don't waste water. There is water scarcity and all. Whenever I go as an ESG expert, wherever I am called to give a speech, I always say, we had started ESG right at Swami's place when Swami had written in the canteen, Annam Brahmam, Nirlu Brahmam, don't waste food. So many times he reminded us. And we practiced. My family members practiced. And today it seems so different to me when we have to go and talk about it to people in the ESG conferences. So these are other experiences. And we had wonderful time there. Chapati rolling time, vegetable cutting time, our duties, our dormitory lives, wonderful time that we longed for Swami. We learned from Swami. We looked at him. One day I had come with, that mehendi. I had put mehendi. One couple newly got married, and I had to stay one night in Calcutta in their house while coming to Anantapur. So the new bride, she found me maybe very cute or young. And so she said, I want to put mehendi for you. Okay, put me mehendi, she put. As soon as I came to Puttaparthi, straight I think we came to Puttaparthi. And from there we went to Anantapur. So in the darshan line, I am sitting like this. Swami said, Shadi kar liya? Itna jaldi shadi kar liya? And I did not know what to say. Nahi Swami, shadi nahi kiya. Ye kya hai? He said. I did not say anything. I just bowed my head down. So again, I did not know what he meant and would not even try to fathom what he meant. But I know the mission that he has given me is to spread happiness through my music, through my blissful music, take the entire audience to the zenith where they can touch the bliss that they have been looking for and they are seeing in their own gods, in their own revered ones. And that I've experienced many a time during my concerts when people are in tears. I do not know what to share and what not to share. There are many such incidents, but I think with these today I would like to wrap up. I wish you could also drown in bliss of Sai love of Pran Sakha Sai. तुम हो अनाथ नाथ भगवान, ओ मेरे प्राण सखा भगवान, साईं मेरे प्राण सखा भगवान, तुम हो अनाथ नाथ भगवान, साईं मेरे प्राण सखा भगवान, वो साईं मेरे प्राण सखा भगवान. Another bhajan which I think Swami enjoyed. Yes, I must say, again I got disconnected in the sense that physical distance parted me from Swami when I got busy in my life, in ups and downs, in my profession, extremely demanding job. Swami caused to take me to Bangalore. My company doesn't have an office in Bangalore. But what he did, he made my chairman call me and say that Chitralee, we have a special assignment for you. Would you like to go? Where, sir? It's in our refinery. ONGC does not do refining of oil. It produces. It has a refinery called MRPL, Mangalore Refinery. I said, where to be posted? Mangalore? He said, no, you'll be in charge of zonal office in Bangalore. My happiness knew no bound. I was there. Every now and then I traveled to Puttaparthi. I sang bhajan in front of Swami. In his last physical days, I got wonderful opportunities to sing in front of him. My last bhajan that I sang in front of Swami, I would like to give. When I cannot explain to you what Swami did. With every curvature of my voice, he twisted and turned his head. With every curvature, the way the curvature would go, the murki, the kutki will go, he would make his head like that. So real, so much involved, so much blessed I feel. How important he made me feel that day, despite perhaps not deserving that. I would give that bhajan and conclude my talk, my sharing of experience today. प्रेम ईश्वर है, ईश्वर प्रेम है, प्रेम ईश्वर है, ईश्वर प्रेम है, हर धड़कन में साई समा है, ईश्वर प्रेम है, प्रेम ईश्वर है, ईश्वर प्रेम है। राम रहीम बुद्ध करीम, बोलो राम रहीम बुद्ध करीम, जो हो राष्ट्र यीशु नानक, जो हो राष्ट्र यीशु नानक। राम रहीम बुद्ध करीम, जो हो राष्ट्र यीशु नानक। कोई भी नाम जपो रे मनवा, ईश्वर प्रेम है। कोई भी नाम जपो रे मनवा, ईश्वर प्रेम है, प्रेम ईश्वर है, ईश्वर प्रेम है। हर धड़कन में साई समा है, ईश्वर प्रेम है। राम रहीम बुद्ध करीम, जो हो राष्ट्र यीशु नानक। कोई भी नाम जपो रे मनवा, ईश्वर प्रेम है। कोई भी नाम जपो रे मनवा, ईश्वर प्रेम है, प्रेम ईश्वर है, ईश्वर प्रेम है। The last part of Sai Sudha that we sang, with which I concluded. I will conclude singing just 2 lines from that. This is Mangalam. सत्य साईश्वराय सकल लोक पूजिताय योगीश्वरार्चिताय जयतु मंगलम। सत्य साईश्वराय सकल लोक पूजिताय योगीश्वरार्चिताय जयतु मंगलम। साईनाथाय वेद वेदांत वेद्याय ओंकार रूपाय जयतु मंगलम। साईनाथाय वेद वेदांत वेद्याय ओंकार रूपाय जयतु मंगलम। ईश्वरां वासुताय इप्सितार्थवरदाय कैवल्यदायिने जयतु मंगलम। ईश्वरां वासुताय इप्सितार्थवरदाय कैवल्यदायिने जयतु मंगलम। जयतु मंगलम नित्यमंगलम सर्वमंगलम। ओम श्री साई राम।
साई राम मनु।
Saidam. Thank you so much, Chitralee sister. Really, today we had an opportunity to hear all your experiences and as well as your wonderful melodious singing. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. And it surely For sure, it will. This session will give encouragement to all of us to sleep peacefully this night. And your experiences have enlightened our minds and have shown us the way how to be humble towards our Lord and follow His teachings. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sister. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. And I am very sorry. I am running temperature and I have a very bad cough and throat. So I couldn't do justice to Swami's bhajans. But I am sure all of you loving sisters would take it with the right stride. And I am really, really indebted to our beloved Bhagavan and all my loving sisters. I wish all of you well. And all of us, let us all always drown in Swami's love. Thank you very much once again. And thanks to all my teachers always.